Welcome to TWitWoW, the best wrestling podcast made for wrestling fans, by wrestling fans, on the web today. I'm John. That's my cohort and commentary, Ashton. And this is our NXT review. I miss doing that intro. That felt good. You know what else felt good for the most part? Tonight's NXT. So let's talk about it real quick before I hand it over to my cohort and commentary here. Him and his magnificent face. I was so ready. Come on here, and I still will. And praise the ever-loving shit out of this show. I'm going to level with you guys. I don't know if it was because Revolution was so fucking good and then Stardom was fucking great today with Lady C getting the win in the main event and, really gaining confidence in herself. And wrestling's beautiful, right? Wrestling's beautiful. But I was thoroughly enjoying NXT tonight. And I swear all of this is true. This is not a Johnism happening right now. I had to take a shit. And I swear it was something divine because when I come back from taking that shit, it turns out that shit had taken place. Because Dolph Ziggler is NXT champion. I did not see the match, so I cannot say, oh, this looks, because I really can't comment on what I didn't see. I can react to the result, and I think the result is ridiculous. Like, I'm already seeing people saying, well, Braun might get it back at Stand and Deliver, but to me, the money, right, lied in Braun Ciampa 3 definitive. Like, definitively one-on-one, the rubber match. You get Ziggler out of there. But the guy, the nuisance, the meddler, is the champion. So I loved so much of this episode. Guys, I was in such a good mood. And again, I'm not doing any bits here. I was even prepared to give Casey Catanzaro props because I thought her and Kaden worked their asses off tonight. And I thought the Tower Poison Rana was insane. I'm probably going to put that as like a candidate for my spot of the year. And then this happened. So ultimately, I'll give it a thumbs up. But what would have been maybe even a 9 out of 10 show for me, I have to give it like maybe a 7.5, maybe an 8. I got to dock it a full point at least for this booking because I don't know where this booking is coming from. So I just wanted to lay my cards on the table fully. Ashton, I am immensely curious how you felt about the show. Obviously, I can make a gauge at how you felt about this result. We already kind of talked about it before going live. But how'd you feel about tonight, man?
Bro, you literally defined all cards on the fucking table by literally admitting to taking a shit during this show. I'm gonna full cards on the table you as well. I fell asleep during LA Knight Grayson Waller.
Yeah, okay.
I
Okay.
legitimately, that match, as soon as LA Knight's entrance started happening, I tuned out. I was planning on not watching that match. I took my glasses off, and the next thing you know, I'm zonked. I'm out. I passed out. I slept through most of the remainder of the show. I did, like, how sometimes when you're sleeping, but you shouldn't be, you kind of fade in and out, and you're like, oh, no, no, no,
Yes.
no,
Yes.
I'm not sleeping. What do you mean? I'm awake. That kind of happened with me to the point that I was able to catch that Io and Kaylee Ray won, and then I was able to catch the very, very ending with Ziggler winning, and that's it. The entire rest of the show, after LA Knight's entrance, I didn't see shit.
Okay. You know what? Thank you, man, seriously, for being all cards on the table. Again, I will be honest, I actually watched the match. I watched the fucking match, and I didn't think it was that bad, honestly. So, like, again, I was ready, and you guys know how weird that is for me, because NXT 2.0, I've been kind of, checked out with it, probably even more so, since we're starting to warm up again to AEW. And Dolph Ziggler is champion. See, here's the thing, and here's the honest truth. It's not even just the fact that Dolph is NXT champion, which seems completely antithetical thematically to what this brand is supposed to be about, right? That's egregious enough. But it's like, again, and I hate to be a broken record because we said we weren't going to do that, but I really need to emphasize this. Braun didn't need Dolph Ziggler as an obstacle. To me, the obstacle was Ciampa, who is the better man. And as
Who
we
has
say,
beaten Dolph Ziggler already at every turn.
Exactly. And like, exactly. I'm glad you brought that point up. And like, whatever we could say about Ciampa, and we can say a lot, and we have said a lot, I would take a Ciampa match over a Ziggler match any day of the goddamn week.
Yeah.
Right now. And you rob me of that, and now most likely at Stand and Deliver, we're going to get fucking Ziggler versus Braun Breaker. Now that he's here, I do have to give props to Dominique Adams because he called this all the way back at February 4th, like over a month ago, that Dolph would be NXT champion. And it happened. I wish it didn't. I wish you were wrong, but I have to give credit where credit is due, my friend. Well played. So what the fuck do we even do? I feel like I'm moving my hands and I don't even know what to do. I guess let's get to heat of the night. Truthfully, bro, if Braun would have just retained, I only had one nitpick for this. And I feel like we've already kind of touched on it, so I'm not going to like get too deep into it. But like, you're not an edgier product because you make sex jokes. Vic Joseph had a line calling Barrett Beta Barrett. Fucking, I like the Persia Hudson stuff, but they kind of like make light of that in a sexual way. There's some innuendo there. And No Faye and Blade, it's all right. I don't know. Some people could read it as like a bit creepy, like, oh, you're like lusting after this woman that you're even like kind of intruding in her personal space. But of course, she's so blissfully unaware of anybody's existence other than her own that she doesn't even know that the people that were kind of feeding her, I don't know if you want to call them valets or what, maitre d's, whatever, that they were attacked. So I don't know. I just feel like the sexual humor is like so low grade. It's really kind of juvenile. And I know it's fucking wrestling. It's not opera. But, we've seen what wrestling as art can look like. And I think that's kind of made me have maybe a bit too high of a standard. But yeah, that was going to be my only nitpick. I want to let you talk, man. Is there anything you want to talk about besides the glaring fucking elephant in the room?
Other than the glaring fucking elephant in the room, out of the shit that I saw on NXT tonight, I don't think I have anything.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because what I saw tonight, I either didn't have a problem with or outright loved.
Yeah. Dude, in fact, let's get into it. Let's get into it, man. Because, again, I had a lot of love to give this show. And, damn it, I'm going to give it to this show anyway. Because all the rest of the performers, they're not responsible for Dolph Ziggler. Dolph Ziggler's mama and Dolph Ziggler's daddy are responsible for Dolph Ziggler. And I will give them a tongue lashing later. So let's get into it. Let's get into our NXT review. We open up with a Dusty Cup matchup. Cora Jade and Raquel Gonzalez versus Kai and Wendy Chu. I thought this was a great match.
Yes.
I enjoyed
was, to me, like, this was like way to kick NXT off on the right foot, guys. This is the right way to do it. Because not only was this a really good match, but Wendy and Dakota actually fucking won. And to really put the fucking icing on the cake, they won by Dakota pinning Raquel. Holy shit.
Yeah, dude, I just want to respond to that real quick, though. I want to acknowledge, thank you, Cliff, TPA Cliff, with the $5 super chat. You think Braun's winning it back at WrestleMania, or is Braun getting the call-up? I personally think he's winning at WrestleMania weekend, Stand and Deliver.
Yep.
I just think it's convoluted. Braun should have gone in as the champion and retained as the champion. I was loving him as a champion. He's fine as a chaser, but that's what I think is going to happen. But so that we don't lose our momentum on our present discussion, like I said, I have a lot of love to give. I feel like everybody did their parts well in this.
Yeah.
Cora and Raquel, I think, were great as a team. I love Wendy and Dakota so much. I'm rooting for them, and I'm honestly convinced they'll win because in my mind, call it my headcanon for the time being, I think Gigi and JC look at Wendy and Dakota as a joke. And they're like, if they win, that's a layup defense for us because they don't want to face either Cora and Raquel or Io and Kaylee Ray, who also qualify, but we'll get to their match later. I also, again, because I have a lot of love to give, want to give props to Raquel. She sold the fuck out of her ankle and her leg after it was attacked by Toxic Attraction mid-match. Yep. She never let up on that leg. Like, I was looking at that, and I'm like,
this is where I will praise her as well. She was better at long-term selling in this match than I've ever seen Charlotte Flair be in any match in her career.
Bro, literally had the same thought as you watching all that unfold. I am like, Jesus fucking Christ. I agree with you, Cliff. I would say the first hour of the show was damn near perfect, in my opinion. I thoroughly love the first hour. And it's funny because
I don't know if the LA Knight match started at the end of the first hour, but if it did, I would agree with that sentiment.
Yeah. Yeah. But this was a great tag match. And like you, dude, I popped when Wendy and Dakota won. Because I wasn't expecting it, obviously, and I love them. Dude, I want to see them win the fucking tag titles. Fuck it, like fuck it. I love.
No,
this
I'm
team.
100% with you.
Yeah. So just keep the good times rolling. Tiffany Stratton versus Fallon Henley. Oh, actually, wait. Before that, I'm getting a little too excited here because
this was weird.
Yeah, we get a Ciampa promo, pretty much talking about what this match means to him. Solid promo. I'm not trying to hate on it. It's just not much to talk about. Then we see that the Creed brothers are taking out, dude, this goddamn NXT parking lot, dude.
This is so fucking weird because they were just laying there selling being in pain while being soaking wet from the rain. And I'm just like, are you in pain because you're wet or are you wet because you're in pain?
Like, dude, this parking lot had to be built on, like, over the bodies of corpses by some, like, serial killer or some shit, because there is bad juju in that fucking parking lot, man. I am telling you, like,
Indian burial ground, my friend.
Something like that, man. Something fucking like that, because I will tell you, if you're not packing heat in this parking lot, you dumb and you deserve what you get, because you need to respect what you're up against. No, like... I usually cringe when I see people actually open carrying. In the NXT parking lot, that's the only exception to the fucking rule. No, it's the Wild West out there, fam. Fuck you. I'm surviving out here. So Malcolm's freaking out.
You shouldn't even open carry a gun because you might end up getting in trouble for that. Although it is Florida, so you wouldn't actually. But just fucking carry nunchucks at all times. Just be ready.
Yeah, Foster does make a great point, as is par for the course for him and that amazing fucking face. Malcolm, how did you not warn your boys? Malcolm, king, from one short king to another. What are you doing? What are you doing? Like, what did Brutus just say? Hold on, me and Julia's gonna get the bags, and Malcolm was just like, no, and then it was too late. Like, I don't know, man. It's nuts out here.
This is like a mystery box, though, isn't it? We don't know who attacked them. We don't know why they were laying there writhing in pain, unless Foster's just right and they slipped in puddles.
Oh, dude, first of all, that would low-key be hilarious. I don't want to, like, jump the gun too much because I'm loving the energy of this review right now, but when I saw that MSK was getting the tag title shot, I'm like, oh my god, are they going to swerve and have MSK be the fucking ones that attacked?
Yeah.
The fucking Creed brothers. Because
I had that thought too, man. You're not the only one, trust me.
Because, like, we already have been saying, like, fuck this venue, fuck the CWC. And NXT is probably like, well, if you're going to boot, we might as well give them an in-character reason. And I could see MSK being like, we had to fulfill the prophecy of the Shaman Riddle, and this was how we did it. I would have been more convinced if they won the tag titles tonight. That didn't happen, but again, we'll get to it.
That was, I think, you mentioned the first hour being flawless. I think that happened in the second hour, and that's one of the many flaws of the second hour is that they didn't win.
Yeah, I will agree with you. Yeah, definitely.
I think it would have been perfect if they would have won, and then it would have been revealed that they were the ones that attacked the Creeds to set up for that exact feud, MSK versus the Creeds for the tag titles. It would have been amazing.
I agree with you 1,000%, brother. After this, we get Tiffany Stratton versus Fallon Henley, who it took me a second to realize she's been the woman in the Jensen and Briggs segments.
Yeah.
So I thought that was pretty cool. That was a cool tie-in.
She was better. She was better than Tiffany in this. She was straight up like ring general leading this fucking match, and she won.
Dude, here's the thing, right? First of all, I agree with you. Just so I don't gloss over your point, I am starting to have greater solidarity with you because like I'm trying to work on my bullshit that I do on here, and I'm trying not to hate on. But when it's like we're all just trying to clock in, clock out, survive. But I am starting to get some solidarity with you on this Big Joseph hate because he had a moment in this that I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah. Because,
like, okay, so they're working the match. Then smoke appears out of nowhere, like in the front. It's almost like a part of Saray's transformation sequence entrance.
Yeah.
And then Saray's like, gotcha, bitch. And right by to fucking Tiffany's head, which was great. And then Fallon Henley gets like almost like a Shining Wizard look like, or some kind of kick or knee, and
I
gets
would agree. It
out.
looked like a Shining Wizard to me as well.
And then Vic Joseph, I don't know where he gets his takes from, probably from parts unknown, otherwise known as his ass. He says, that's an upset. How? Tiffany Stratton hasn't done anything. In fact, she lost to Io most recently. Now, if she beat Io, the universe just deserves to just,
perish,
go down in flames. Yeah, completely. Conflagration. Just completely. But if she would have at least beaten Io, and it's like, wow, that Tiffany Stratton, with her daddy's money, she's going places. But no, like,
she
lost.
Won a match, has she?
She won one match.
She did
I feel
win
like
one.
One
it was
match
against like an established jobber though, right? Like a Ulysses Leon or something like that.
Something like that. But it's like, damn, Joseph, did you sprain your fucking shoulder? Like, go over that? Like, what? But anyway, yeah, Fallon Henley won. Jensen and Briggs kind of celebrating with her. I do think that's kind of cool. I like how they've kind of treated these guys in that act, and Henley seems cool. I've got no problem with her.
Vic Joseph be like, you guys might think that I'm one of these WWE only drones, but I watch other promotions. I know about New Japan. I even saw Juice Robinson pin Kenny Omega in that one in G1 Climax. This was still a bigger upset than that.
Yeah. Oh God! Imagine having that take. I think while I'm actively listening out of the corner of my eye, I could see the brain leap out of the earlobe.
Bro, I was trying to say that as confidently as I possibly could because there's just something so like I don't even know if I would say delicious, but there's just something special about people who are super confident and incorrect at the same time.
Bro. Hard agree. Like, I have a lot of experience laughing at those same people, and you're right. Yeah. So next we get an act that I know is going on both of us. Another Andre Chase University
I
lesson.
missed this. Oh no! I did see this. Okay, I'm the website that I'm on doesn't have that mentioned. It just skips straight to lashing out with Lash and Nikita.
Okay. Bro, I gotta be honest with you, man. Like, the swearing and stuff, that doesn't usually get me because I'm like, okay, like anybody can swear. Like, I think you and I are both at that age where it's like we're not impressed. But at the same time, I can be a bit stupid too. And I don't know why, but when he threw the fucking basketball at the one student that was genuinely asking, like, Bodhi's eye looks like it's infected. Like, get help. And Chase just throws the basketball at him. I don't know why, but that got a chuckle out of me. Andre Chase, he's trying out here. He's earning his fucking keep. So I thought this was good. After this, we go with Trick and Mello to the Cut Whiz, I think it was. What do you think about these vignettes, man? This is the second one of these they've done with Mello and Trick. What do you think about this?
Yeah, I mean, it was fine. I missed it, actually. They didn't bring up Ollie J in this again, did they?
No, they didn't. So that was already a step in the right direction.
That is a good thing, because I got to tell you, man, regardless, that alone makes me enjoy these segments. Like, this is one of those segments that should have been good from the get-go, but because they randomly went out of their way to bring up Ollie J, just ruined the segment for me. The fact that they didn't in this one is like, okay, now we're on track because this is right.
I gotta say, too, and I hope I'm not overstepping, because I have acknowledged before when we get more political about, like, blackness and Black Lives Matter, Javaris, Foster, I always want to be respectful of those guys. I never want to caricature or anything like that. Dominic Adams as well. But I like that it's a barbershop. I like that it's, black men and, there's a white guy in there. It's just these guys in this barbershop, because the barbershop always has this feel of like, I metaphorically speaking, but obviously literally as well. You let your hair down, you talk, and you're just able to be at ease. And I like that. There's something classy about it. I think there's something relevant about it to Black culture that you're doing all this in a barbershop. So I like that. I really like that. It's intimate. It's unique. And it's not a fucking caricature like Brutus the Barber Beefcake. Right. So I thought that, that was really cool. I like that they're doing that with him. And I like that, they're even still talking shit when they're getting the actual hair, like, cut and stuff. So since you missed this, I'll just break it down for you, just in case you didn't know. So it's going to be a 5-person ladder match, and the other 4 participants have to qualify. And I'm guessing that's what Foster meant when he asked me in the Discord, how do you feel about Cameron Grimes versus Santos Escobar next week? I'm assuming that's a qualifying match. And I told him, no, I'm not happy about it at all because I want them both in it. What the fuck? So yeah, one of them's going to qualify and the other one's just going to be, I don't know, left to kick rocks. But we don't know who the other 3 are. I think we can assume that one's going to be fucking Pete Dunne, or at least Pete Dunne will be in a qualifying match. And then I really don't know about the other 2 guys at all. Like, that's up in the air. Maybe A Kid will get in it because he is debuting next week.
That's actually a really good point. Yeah, because he has a lot of hype on him.
Yeah, he does, man. That vignette they gave him, they showed all the media he's been a part of.
Well, not only that, but people who watch NXT UK hype him up. Like, they really, really like him.
Yeah, that is one thing. When NXT UK guys come to NXT, it's always intriguing for me because obviously we don't watch NXT UK. So I'm like, okay, now I get to see what all the hype's about. And you're right, A Kid is one of those people. So be curious to see how it goes. Trick does not like that this is a ladder match at all, by the way. He wishes that fucking Carmelo would have picked a safer match. And he says he's going to make it a ladder match because he can and prove he's the greatest champ ever. I even liked one line that he had in here where he said, it's stand and deliver because I'm going to stand tall at the end of this as the North American champion. And I'm going to deliver one of the greatest performances and solidify my status as, again, the greatest North American champion ever. So I like that he did that play on words with the takeover to say that, like, that's what I'm going to be doing. He's so good as a promo. Lashing out with Lash Legend, Nikita Lyons talked about her parents. Lash Legend went after him. She's like, oh, I heard your father was a rock star and your mother was a groupie, but was she everyone's groupie? And then Lyons said, well, my mother was a free spirit. She taught me not to judge others. And then, Legend and her kind of escalates. And, Legend is like, I wasn't done talking. And Lyons is like, get that finger out of my face. And you could tell it's going to come to blows, but security gets in there in time. And the show ends. Not bad, I guess. But yeah, I'm just curious where both of these women will really, go after this mini program is over.
Yeah.
I definitely think Nikita Lyons has women's championship potential in NXT's eyes, and Lash Legend, that remains to be seen. I don't know. After this, Imperium interviewed backstage, and they get questioned. Did you attack MSK? They're like, no. Or excuse me, did you attack Creed Brothers? They say no. MSK step up. That's how we get our tag title matchup. So moving on from that, Brooks and Jensen are celebrating with Henley backstage. LDF come in, and then they ask them, did you attack the Creeds? They say no. And then, Santos and Co., they deny it as well because they get accused. And, they remind Brooks and Jensen they lost in the first round in the Dusty Cup. LDF shouldn't really be talking that much shit, though, because I distinctly remember Joaquin Wilde and Raul. It is Raul Mendoza, right? Wilde and Mendoza. That's right. God, I almost had a brain fart there. That they lost to fucking Inoue and Blade. So not really a good look for either team. After this, we get Last Man Standing. I know you slept through this, so you're not going to be able to really talk about it. Again, I didn't think it was that bad, guys, honestly. I enjoyed it to an extent. I will say this too. I thought the finish was clever. I thought they were going to be lazy and just have the handcuffs be the finish. Like handcuffing his legs to the ring post or something. That being Grayson Waller to LA Knight, by the way, just so that everybody's following along. But no, it was an elbow drop from the top rope to the announce table, Waller to Knight, so that he gets his quote-unquote viral moment. And then he uses Sangha. He leans against him so that Sangha can stand up because he's handcuffed to the ring post and get up on his feet so that he can beat the 10 count. Clever use of the muscle, nice spot at the end. What more can you really say? It's not going to be a barn burner like other Last Man Standing matches, but I felt like, between the fact that it's 2 shitters and everything, wasn't as bad as I expected it to be. After this, God, there was a lot devoted to this. Okay, there we go. We see Tony D'Angelo and his cousin Mikey's Italian restaurant. I think he ordered the ziti. And he says it's high time NXT start running on his watch. NXT Stand and Deliver, the whole world will be watching, and they're going to see the new dawn of NXT. So I just wanted to kind of, if you have anything you want to contribute, Ashley, maybe you can't think of anything right now, but I was wondering if you had any inklings, any predictions, any thoughts of what they might do with D'Angelo for Stand and Deliver. Because, you know, it does seem like they're hyping him up for something.
Is it possible it'll be in that 5-way?
That is possible. Yeah, I could see that.
For now, that's my only real guess.
I think that's an educated guess for sure. I could absolutely see that. I do agree with you, Foster. I wish Tony D should have won the feud too. I personally think Dunn could have been called up and then just fucked off my TV. But, you know, that's just me. Then we go to the next match of the Dusty Cup, and we see Blade and Inoue, you know, with Mandy Rose giving her wine and grapes. The Dream. Kaylee Ray and Io versus Casey and Kaden. I was really struggling with which women's Dusty Cup match I liked better. Because I really, again, this is another case where I thought every woman really delivered in this. I think Casey and Kaden really came off well as like the underdog yet established tag team, because they're only underdog because the two singles competitors that were like, hey, let's do a tag team thing are just so stacked credentially. You know, fucking Kaylee Ray with her NXT UK reign, and Io obviously with her former women's tag title reign and her, you know, dominant NXT Women's Championship reign. So it was a good dynamic. Some inspired spots here, but again, the two that stand out, the Tower Poison Rana, which just was insane to look at visually. And here's the thing, bro. I know, it's Io. She's fucking goated. She's always goated. But I think that was one of the best moonsaults I've seen her hit in NXT. I loved her fucking moonsault to end this. I'm like, that was perfect. So
she is a genius for a reason, my dude.
Absolutely. I do notice, though, that some of Io's moonsaults, they'll, like, hit the legs. I feel like she got full, like, on-stomach contact. That's why I liked it so much, because I'm like, oh, wow. Yo, that hit completely. I think it had strong false finishes. I think there was one controversy where it seemed like Casey had Io pinned to the point where the crowd even was, like, chanting, that was 3, that was 3. So I felt like that was a nice touch as well. This was a really inspired, really energetic tag team fucking match. And I'm like, yeah, ladies, get after it. Like, nice. I feel like this women's Dusty Cup was so much better than the first one, because even the teams that lost, and it is funny because it was, a genuine team, at least in Casey and Kaden, that lost. And I guess you could say that both Wendy and Dakota and Raquel and Cora were makeshift teams. But I feel like Wendy and Dakota, they already feel like they have more chemistry. It's been good for the division. I think it'll even be good for the losers of this tournament, because I think they'll come out stronger with more fanfare and everything else afterwards. Then again, it's WWE. Who am I to have hope? So that was that matchup. And I think there's even a gif of that Poison Rana spot. I'll definitely have to go and look at that later. After this, we get Imperium MSK. Gonna be honest, bro. Oh, actually, Tiffany did have an interview. And she said, not only am I going to break Saray's necklace, I'm going to break her face. So we know that's... I just had to do it because she said face, so I couldn't just gloss over that.
Oh, of course. So, that's how it goes, baby.
I know. Ooh, that hit me just right. So now we get our tag title matchup, Imperium versus MSK. Honestly, bro, really not much to say here, because I feel like while the match is about to hit a second gear, then Diamond Mine came in, the Creed brothers. They wreck shop. I will say, I don't know if to blame anybody for this, because it did look like a nasty spot, or if it was meant to look that way, in which case, sick, I guess. I'm nervous to even give it those props. There was a German that fucking, I think Brutus hit on Eichner, and I thought Eichner broke his fucking neck. I'm like, Jesus Christ, that landing looked awkward as shit.
Okay.
But wait, what was that?
I just said, "Ooh, yikes! That sounds rough." Okay.
Yeah, dude. If you go back and you see it, like, I don't know. Draco Anthony's working out backstage. Harlan and Gacy appeared. The only reason I'm even talking about this, because I know we normally skip Harlan and Gacy, fucking Zion Quinn is back, and my recap doesn't mention it, but thank goodness I remembered it then, because that's the only worthwhile thing. So it seems like Zion Quinn and Joe Gacy, with Harlan staring menacingly in the background, are vying for the soul of Draco Anthony. I think a lot of Zion Quinn. I don't necessarily want to say that this is a step down for him, but I just hate this gimmick. So as a fan, I'm going to be a bit biased and be like, yeah, I wish you weren't doing this. Honestly, I'd love to see Zion Quinn in the ladder match.
That'd be really nice. Dude, you know what? It's kind of perfect that we bring up Zion Quinn in ladder matches 2 days after watching the Face of the Revolution ladder match. Because if there's anyone in AEW that reminds me of Zion Quinn, it is fucking Wardlow.
Yeah, there you go, man. There you go. Zion Quinn pretty much tells him, like, Draco Anthony is his own man. He doesn't need to listen to you guys, whatever. So he really sticks up for Draco. Tries to tell him, like, hey, man, you don't need to do this. So yeah, that's interesting. Just great to see Zion Quinn back on the product. And yeah, then we get our main event: Breaker, Ciampa, Ziggler. And like you with Last Man Standing, I can't talk about this mainly because I didn't see it. So unless there's anything you want to say, we can do high spots, low shots.
What a fucking relief that neither one of us saw this piece of shit win the goddamn world title.
Dude, I don't even fucking know. Like, Braun got done so dirty here.
Yeah.
Like, honestly, and maybe this is hyperbolic to say in the moment, but then again, I feel like that's pretty much the essence of this wrestling community. I'm angrier about this than when he lost at Halloween Havoc. Like, I was disappointed at Halloween Havoc when he lost to Ciampa, but at least it was fucking Ciampa. Here, admittedly, he doesn't get pinned, so, like, I will give NXT that credit. We have to be fair. But he was just getting his momentum as champion. And he was cutting great promos. He even cut a great promo tonight. Like, he had a line tonight that I loved where he's like, to me, this championship isn't about how many days I've held it. It's about everyone who held it before me, about what it means to be NXT champion. Like, every time this dude talks, I believe him. He has a sincerity that doesn't feel contrived or artificial to be like, okay, go out here and say these things so we can push t-shirts. And you're going to do him like this for Dolph Ziggler. A guy who, like, in his, like, backstage promo as his music hit, he's wearing his jacket. Like, dude, he's the guy where the midlife crisis never ended. Like, his identity is his midlife crisis. And you cut Braun Breaker's legs out from underneath him for that fucking guy. Now, I'm being completely sincere because I love having my fun with Dominique Adams because he's like, oh, I love watching the world burn. I love the chaos. I'm being completely sincere here. Even if Braun Breaker gets it back, that wasn't the fucking point. I wanted to see him have a run the first fucking time because he was speaking with confidence when he was stepping in that role. Now you've stunted the momentum to tell a story that nobody wanted to see told.
Nope.
Because again,
dude, WWE, I don't know if there's another wrestling company in the world that is more obsessed with telling stories that nobody wanted to see be told.
Oh, dude, absolutely. And I don't know, guys, because, like, fuck. I don't want to have to tolerate this shit until Stand and Deliver. I know you kind of get on some more vibe before we went live because we've been like, oh, we'll give it till Stand and Deliver, whatever.
Well, dude, I'll tell you what I think the reason they did this was. I think this is going to lead to Braun winning the title from Ziggler, not at Stand and Deliver, but literally at WrestleMania.
That could be something.
I think they wanted to fast track Braun in that way because he's already on fucking Raw.
Yeah. But I don't know, man. Like, you know how they say the ends don't justify the means? And I feel like that is a worthwhile end, getting Braun on the main roster and this and that. I would have liked him to spend a little bit more time, but he does seem to be picking up the business lightning quick.
Yeah, dude, I think my big thing is, like, you don't have to put the fucking NXT title on Dolph Ziggler to justify putting Braun Breaker on WrestleMania. You could have just had him defend the title against Ciampa at WrestleMania. You could have just done it in a way where you make it seem like Ciampa is the call-up. Ciampa's on the main roster now, and he still wants to be NXT champion while on the main roster because maybe he wants to go back to NXT because he doesn't like it on the main roster. I don't fucking know. So he's still challenging Braun for that title, but he can't do it at Stand and Deliver because he doesn't have an NXT contract anymore. So Braun just has to work WrestleMania. It's like they basically forced their own hand, and now they're, rather than doing that kind of storyline, which still would have fucking worked. I mean, I'm not saying it would have been amazing or smooth or great or anything, but it would have at least prevented Dolph fucking Ziggler. How old is he? 42?
I think so, yeah.
41-year-old fucking boomer ass from being the champion of what's supposed to be a developmental promotion. Fuck that.
Yeah, $5 super chat from Dominique Adams. Devil emoji. The boyhood dream has come true for Dolph Ziggler. God damn it, Dom.
Can I also just say this is, I believe, now I'm 99% sure on this, but I'm leaving the 1% there in case I'm just completely forgetting something. This is the first time that anyone has ever won the NXT World Championship having already been a world champion on Raw or SmackDown.
Yes. Yes. I think you're right about that, yeah.
I don't think Finn won the world title in his most recent run, did
he? In his most recent run,
he did, didn't he? He did.
Well, yeah, because remember the Universal title, he was the inaugural Universal champion.
No, but I'm saying, did he ever win the NXT title on his most recent run?
He did. Remember, because who did he drop it to? It was Karrion Kross, right?
That's right. Yeah, he did end up being the one to drop it to Kross on Kross's like return after Kross had to vacate it because of the injuries sustained against Lee.
Right.
Oh
okay.
my God. So I guess really what I should say is this is the first time NXT champion who, prior to becoming an NXT champion ever, was already a world champion on the main roster. That's basically what I'm getting at, is the idea that Dolph just became an NXT champion after having never been in NXT before and having already held the world title on WWE programming multiple times. Whereas even when Finn won it most recently, it was a second run in NXT. And it was like, his original run in NXT was still his first world title in the company,
Exactly, yeah.
Oh, for fuck's sakes.
It's rough, man. Like, again, like I said a few moments ago, I don't think the ends justify the means here. Like, I don't care if you wanted to find a way to get Braun up there. Like, there's always a different way you can do things. Because you're selling me, because you had said something that I wanted to latch onto. They really are making this a developmental brand. It's NXT 2.0. You know, we're going back to the roots. And he's fucking 42 and already been a world, like,
41.
It's just 41, excuse me.
And then already they've even got like the NXT level up now for like the lower level like performance center people. So NXT is legitimately feels like it's meant to be a bridge from the performance center to WWE TV. And now the world title is on somebody who's already been a WWE world champion.
It's like, make up your fucking mind what you want to be.
They really can't. They really can't make up their fucking minds. That's the unbelievable part, is like, you motherfuckers cut every fucking top indie name and you went out of your way to call them dead weight so that you could try and frame developmental as truly being developmental again. And one of the next couple steps you take is putting the world title on an established main roster superstar who's literally been world champion already. Like, they really do love the idea of just having their cake and eating it too, despite everyone.
You know, since you went there, since you opened that territory, it's really, not only is it unforgivable, the more I dwell on it, the more I feel like gross inside that Dolph Ziggler won the NXT title before fucking Swerve and fucking Santos.
Dude, that's what I'm saying, right? Like, they cut Swerve and Keith and fucking how many dudes that were still in NXT and women that were still in NXT because they didn't want the sort of indie wrestler vibe in NXT anymore, because they wanted NXT to feel more like it was full of WWE homegrown talents. And so what do? They bring back a dude from fucking OVW and put the world title on him. What?
I reiterate, folks, I'm glad Stardom exists, and I'm glad on the American side to keep it relevant that AEW is like slowly turning a corner with me, and they really picked up the speed after the Revolution pay-per-view because I thought that was a great fucking show. I don't know what the fuck WWE is doing because I'll tell you,
Bro,
WrestleMania again since 2 matches looks like ass, and then NXT does this, and I'm like, what the fuck? So
I'm not joking either. Dolph Ziggler was literally trained in OVW.
yeah. Oh no,
Like,
I believe you, man. I think yeah, we've even established that. Yeah.
he's not even recent enough to have been an FCW guy. He was before FCW was even a thing. He was fucking OVW. He was like, you know, the same developmental territory that produced Brock and Cena and Orton and Batista. That's the same developmental territory that they used Ziggler in. Like that's how long ago he was in developmental, and now they brought him back to be the world champion of NX fucking T.
Jesus Christ. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know.
This
Just,
might
yeah.
unironically be the worst decision NXT has made since they put the world title on Karrion Kross, taking it
Yeah.
from Keith Lee.
Yeah. God damn.
Isn't it
That's
amazing how the more things change, the more they stay the same?
it really is, friend. You want to cry together later? Because I feel
I
down for
feel like this is what we're
that.
already doing right now.
Yeah. Just without the actual tears, at least yet. I've done pretty well at suppressing it. I've really got nothing else to add that wouldn't be a redundancy to your points. I think you argued everything expertly, better than I could in my state of mind at present, just still kind of processing this shit. This makes me give less of a fuck about Stand and Deliver. And really, honestly, again, it makes me give even less of a fuck about WrestleMania because I'm sorry. I love Braun. Braun Ziggler is not a third match that I'm like, oh, WrestleMania has 3 good matches instead of 2, which, by the way, 3 is still fucking laughable, even if I did give them that. But I'm not giving them that, so we're still at fucking 2, and it's WrestleMania. If your theory, Ashton, is correct, I just want to point that out, because you said you don't think it's going to be Stand and Deliver, you think it's going to be Ziggler, Braun, and WrestleMania, and I think that's entirely plausible. And if so, again, fuck that. Like, I knew that a change was coming for TWitWoW when we just caught back on the programming massively after the big wave of cuts. And then we're like, okay, we'll do Big Four. And we've mostly like kept up with that. But then you look at this Mania and you and I have both talked about it and we're like, oh, that looks like shit. And I wanted NXT to be good, and that's not doing it either. I just don't know. I've just never felt more disconnected to WWE in all my years watching it. Even those times where I always would say, oh, it sucks, or oh, I hate it, but like it's different this time. Because like you're really just tired of saying it and you just want to be like, no, I'm done. I'm done. And like WWE doesn't care. So with that said, again, really, really fun NXT tonight. Just goddamn. Ziggler's champion. You really had to go. You really had to go when I was so ready to just do nothing but heap praise on this fucking show. And I would have even been honest and said I missed it, but Breaker retained. Cool. But no, like we have to talk about Ziggler's champion because you made Dolph Ziggler fucking NXT champion. Fuck y'all. So yeah, great episode. Shit fucking ending. Way to shit the bed at the very fucking end of the goal line, you fucks. High spots, low shots. Oh God, you know what? Honestly, low shot Braun Breaker didn't get pinned, and honestly, in a non-kayfabe way, I don't like giving out non-kayfabe low shots, but this dude got done dirty. Like I understand he's going to get on the main roster. He's going to make the good money. It's not the end of Braun Breaker. I'm not saying that, but I feel like every moment in somebody's career counts. You really could have seen how he would have been as a champion, and you robbed him, and you robbed all of us of that. And now I don't know, because I don't know how quickly he'll win one of the main roster world titles. And with their fucking booking and with things going on internally over there, that's not even guaranteed. Anybody that's like, oh, Braun will be a WWE champion, I'm not so sure. Maybe 5 years ago, I would have been like, oh, yeah, definitely. But now, you never fucking know with this company. Vince could just be like, you know what? Not really feeling it today. Send him to main event. So we'll see. I really hope you guys know what you're fucking doing with Braun Breaker because I really highly doubt it, and that's such a shame for this fucking dude because he's immensely talented. So Braun's my low shot. Who's your low shot?
Can I just say us or like NXT fans in general for the Dolph Ziggler decision?
Bro, if I'm taking liberties, you can fucking take liberties. Do you really want to go there? Because
How
I'll
did you
allow
take
it.
liberties? You gave your low shot to Braun. That makes all the sense in the world.
But I gave it for more non-kayfabe reasons, and I feel like that's taking liberties because I try and keep it within kayfabe whenever possible. So
I
if
get what you mean. Okay, no, I'm gonna give my low shot to MSK because there's a very good chance that they were the ones that attacked the Creed brothers in the parking lot, which in a sense is them selling their souls, and they did that only to not even win the tag titles.
Oh, I like that you're committing to the idea that they did attack Creed brothers. I like that, man. A very, very great pick. I'm just gonna tell. Actually, no, I don't need to type it. If I can just tell them here, Kirby, go to your room. So now that I check that box, high spot, high spot. Where do I want to go? You know what? I'm gonna end it on a positive note because I did love most of this episode. My high spot is Wendy Chu and Dakota Kai because they advanced to the Women's Dusty Cup Finals.
Nice.
So nice and easy. Who's your high spot?
I think I'm gonna go kind of even lower down the card, believe it or not, and make my high spot. Let me make sure that I get her name correct. Fallon Henley.
Ooh.
She had a really impressive performance tonight against Tiffany Stratton. Even if she wouldn't have won, I was more impressed with her in the ring than I was with Stratton. But then she went and fucking won. So yeah, massive ups to Fallon Henley for the dub.
I really like that, man. I'm glad that you and I could both end on somewhat of a happier note because I really don't know what our future is with this fucking brand after fucking decisions like this. Because I'm really ready to cut the cord. I'm really ready to fully embrace AEW and give them another chance and not waste time on this because
dude, isn't it so ironic
Christ.
that for the longest time you gave so few fucks about AEW to the point that you were actively like, no, fuck AEW, I don't want to. And and between Cody leaving and NXT basically running you into the arms of AEW, and they had their arms open and waiting for you. Everything has just changed over the course of the last like 2 months. I feel like.
Yeah, and I mean that's the thing. Like, yeah, I was very against it because for all the reasons you mentioned, Cody Rhodes and the show being Cody Rhodes and Friends, but like everybody would talk about it, and I felt like I was missing something good, and I wasn't too depressed because I had Stardom, but like Stardom's great and everything, but I'd like something in America to be good, and so far AEW seems to be that answer. Now, could they go off the rails? Anybody can go off the rails anymore. Nothing is secure in the world of wrestling. That's what this time has taught me. But yeah, I'm glad we have it and I'm glad we're doing it because NXT, and I love the first episode of 2.0. New acts, vignettes. It was like they were hitting you a mile a minute with stuff. And I'm like, this is cool. But man, what you motherfuckers have been prioritizing, I don't understand, man. I don't understand it. And I don't want to understand it. So, we'll see. What happens when AEW screws up, Alex? We do what we always do, and that's adapt. We adapt. TWitWoW is constantly keeping our minds open to what we like and what we don't like, and we're always going to be honest with you guys about what's hitting for us and what isn't hitting. And yeah, like I said in the chat, at least we'll still have Stardom. Because here's the thing.
No decision that we have ever made about this channel has ever been a permanent one.
Exactly. Yeah, that's the thing. That's, I think, another reason why I was so, like, okay with my attitude about AEW, because I'm like, I know that I'm open-minded enough that if enough things happen, and again, when I knew Thunder Rosa was challenging for the women's title, I was the one that was like, hey, Ashton, just so you know, if you want to do it, I'm open to it. And then this all happened. So that's how we are, guys. If we see something, I mean, Ashton's the reason we started Lucha Underground, and look at how amazing that decision was, because it's like, dude, this looks really cool. But we're fluid. We're always fluctuating. We're always looking at new stuff. Hell, we've done 2 Terminus shows. So if NXT doesn't pan out, if AEW doesn't pan out, then who's going to step up? That's my question to wrestling promotions. Who's going to step up, catch our eye? Because we love supporting new shit. So I'm not worried. I'm not worried because at this stage, we've been doing this for so many years. Our tastes, our time, our preferences have to matter more than the quantitative of like metrics, what stuff is driving traffic. I don't care if 2 million people are watching a pile of shit. It's still a pile of shit. And I'm not going to try and grab that audience if it fucking smells bad. And I know Ashton's the same way. So, yeah, even if NXT was doing gangbusters for people covering it, I wouldn't want a piece of that pie because it fucking reeks. And yeah, fucking Dolph Ziggler as NXT champion. You had such a great episode. Dude, I want you to know, too, just to really punctuate it, right? If Braun had retained, I would have called this probably my favorite episode of NXT 2.0 that we've watched.
Wow.
I loved it that much. That much. But you go and you do that. And I didn't even see the match, so some people might rightly say, like, you know, John, maybe you're being a bit unfair. You didn't even see the match. But sometimes you don't need to see a match to just wonder, why the fuck was that the finish? Why the fuck was that the booking decision? So, I don't know, guys. That was NXT. Thank you guys, though, so much for the activity in the chat. The 2 super chats from Dominique, Adams, and Cliff. You guys are awesome. Really appreciate it. Any financial support of the channel always means a lot. Dominique, I know soon we'll be doing your 12 request. I know we've been kind of talking in the Discord, which all of you can join the Discord for $3 a month. So get it on that. You also get additional Q&A questions for, well, really just $1, but I just prefer to treat the $3 like a bundle because you get the additional Q&A questions with that. Q&A will be, I want to say March 31st, end of the month, March 31st.
Mm-hmm.
Non-Patreon donors only get 3 questions. If you donate to the Patreon, you get up to 5. So check that out. And so, yeah, I don't know why I did a plug right when I didn't even properly do the outro, but I'm just all out of sorts after that fucking booking decision. So, yeah, this has been NXT. This has been TWitWoW, the best wrestling podcast made for wrestling fans, by wrestling fans, on the web today. I'm John. That's my coordinator, commentary Ashton. Guys, be sure to like the video as you file out. The more likes you leave, the more likely we are to be the top result for NXT reviews on YouTube. And when you're the best at what you do, the top is the only place that you belong. So please leave that like. Also, subscribe and click the bell icon so you don't miss any of that TWitWoW goodness. Check out everything we're involved in the description box. I already plugged like the Patreon offerings, so I'm just gonna go right to the Twitters. I'm at John_TWitWoW. I cannot tell you how fucking relieved I am to still be able to say that. I just got access back because I'm technologically illiterate to my Twitter today. My pinned tweet is to collect Q&A questions. Did mine first because I talked about Q&A just a few moments ago. So 2 easiest ways, again, submitting Q&A questions through Discord or going to my pinned tweet, replying to it with your Q&A questions. Ashton's pinned tweet is the TWitWoW schedule for the month. Ashton, while I was AFK and just dealing with my technological bullshit, did you put the schedule up, or is it still like kind of finalizing it a bit?
I haven't put it up yet, but I could put it up tonight.
Yeah, so he'll put it up tonight, guys. Yeah, needless to say, tomorrow we'll see you guys at 8 for AEW Dynamite live reactions. And then, can we expect another Stardom show on Thursday?
Yes.
Okay, so then expect Thursday at 5, guys. We'll do Stardom. Friday is games on the Discord. That's another reason to join the Discord. We do game nights Mondays and Fridays. And then I'm going to tentatively say that I think Saturday and Sunday is clear. But, you know, we'll see what happens. Because, again, I know there's going to be a 12-hour request live coming at some point this month, and I'll be excited to talk about that and get that finalized. But, yeah, other than that, I think this week is good.
You are correct. I just want to throw out there, the plan currently is to do Stardom on Thursday, and then we have Rampage Friday, and then nothing until Tuesday.
That's right. I'm sorry, man. It's still going to take me a bit to get used to Rampage on Fridays, but you are right about that. So we do games, and then Rampage, yeah, reactions from 10 to 11. I love that it's just an hour show.
Yeah.
So yeah, guys, be there. We're definitely making the shift. I really wanted to believe in you, NXT. I don't know what the fuck you're doing. But yeah, with that said, guys, be good to yourselves. Be good to each other. Watch the wrestling you love. Do the things you love. You get one life. Just enjoy it. Have more laughter. I don't know. I'm not going to say eat, pray, love. I don't believe in that fucking shit. But, just be the best version of yourself and have fun doing it. Yeah. That's the best advice I can give. I'm trying to live by that with mixed results. But one day at a time, right? So yeah, with that said, guys, we'll see you tomorrow for fucking Dynamite. I fucking love you people. Thanks again to Dom and Clip specifically for the super chats and all of you for always bringing the energy. Until we meet again, tune in and peace out.